everyone, and welcome to 1923 Main Street.
Home of the Daddy, Daughter, Disney Travel Podcast. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Bello-Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Bello-Braddock. And today, we're going to take you through your first things to do when you arrive at Walt Disney World.
Disney vacation firsts. And I got this idea because someone recently said to me, well, what's the first thing you should do when you get there?
And this is not only on your first visit. These are things that I've planned out to do every time I go.
Right, so let's take it that way. And here's how I thought we'd start. First of all, since we're doing Disney firsts, and we've had this discussion with a family member recently, actually, when is the first time you should take a child? Now, of course, you can go anytime. I mean, there's plenty of newborns being carted around Disney parks.
I say don't let your child slow you down if you want to go. I'm just saying if you're thinking about the child,
yes,
the first time that they would really understand kind of what's happening is just past the age of 2. They kind of get it, maybe start to remember it a little bit.
Exactly. That's what we found with you. So when people ask that question...
Although if you're only going to go once or twice, maybe wait a bit more so they will remember it more.
Yeah, here's what we found with Amelia. At age just over 2, she was, any younger than that, they may or may not know what's going on. Some kids are actually scared of the characters.
I mean, they're not necessarily going to be like, oh, look, Mommy, I'm at Disney World. I fully understand everything now.
But at age 2, you're walking, and you in particular were completely loving the characters, the princesses. You interacted with them. You get lots of good pictures and videos and all that sort of stuff.
I'm not saying I'm brilliant, but...
So if you're asking the ideal time for a first visit in terms of the child being able to actually have fun,
yeah,
I'd say anytime past the age of 2.
Yeah.
Now, if you're saying, when will the child remember that vacation? I think for you, it was around 4.
Yeah.
So,
or you get flashes of it when you're little, but you can't form a
memory. And you remember it through photos,
yeah,
obviously. Like we did a little photo book for your first couple, a nice hardcover, got it printed nicely, so that's fun.
Yeah. Or this makes absolutely no sense, but I remember being 4 and going on the steps of the Grand Floridian and having a memory of when I was 2. That doesn't make any sense. So I don't actually remember when I was 2, but I remember remembering.
You do get little flashbacks. Everyone's memories are different. They're like little supercomputers in your head. So some people can pull memories. Well, like the movie Inside Out. So
yes.
You managed to grab one of those memories and remember when you were little from a littler time. But anyway, so in terms of that question, when is the first time that's good to go? 2 for the child to interact, and then 4 and up, I would say, in our experience, for your kid to actually remember what you spent all that money on.
I would say prime Disney age is 5 to 8. If you're only going to go once or twice, if it's not a yearly thing and you do want to take your child, I would say 5 to 8.
Because you get into ride size?
You get into rides, and you can still meet characters, and you're still young enough that it's enjoyable and it's still fun, it's still magical.
And when they're just close enough for certain rides, what we did with Amelia is put her
cowboy boots.
Put her in cowboy boots. We got cool little cowboy boots, and that gave her the extra inch or so.
Very high ponytail.
Yeah, and they were pretty good about. Nobody ever said, "Hey, take off those boots and now measure your height."
No, if you can do it, the cast members want you on. They just can't legally do it if you're short.
So for Disney firsts and the first time to go, that's what I'd say. And another thing I want to bring up before I get into more of them is, for any time that it's your first visit, you must wear the button.
Oh, yes.
Ask for the I'm celebrating first visit button.
I'm not saying you should bring this back when it's not your first visit, but you might get some things.
Yeah, and if it is your first time and you don't really know much about Disney parks, whether it's Disneyland or Disney World, and you think, oh, this is stupid, I'm not going to wear this button. Don't think that way, because cast members actually do look for those buttons, all sorts of them, and
they'll give you stuff.
You may get freebies over the course of your week for wearing a first visit. You'll definitely get noticed. So, they are worth wearing, I would say, definitely. So if it's your first visit, or anyone in your family or whoever you're with.
Or a birthday, or...
Yeah, if you're celebrating anything,
yeah,
wear the button, and it may work out for you. All right, and then we got into some other kind of firsts. So whether or not it's your first visit or your 21st visit,
you have to do something first. You can't just not.
So let me pose it to you this way. First thing to do when you get to the hotel.
When you go to the hotel?
So we're assuming you're staying on site at Walt Disney World. Whether you come in or however you come in, you get to the hotel. What is the first thing that you would recommend doing?
This is kind of specific to the Grand Floridian, but I personally jump on like the little plant side things and do a runway.
So I would say you explore or reacquaint yourself.
And then if, again, on the Grand Floridian, and then I go into the stairs, I basically do a lobby show.
Okay, so you're a little bit unique. Now let's take someone who's not a performer. And let's say someone was asking you, well, what should I do first? Do you go swimming? Do you explore the hotel? Do you dump everything and head right to a park within the first hour?
I would check.
What was your recommended Disney first?
I would check in, get rid of your bags. And if you don't have the room ready, I would recommend like just get rid of them. Take like a little backpack or something because no one wants to lug luggage around all day. Hey.
Well, actually, here's a pro tip that you and Mummy do. Not so much me, but
Yes.
if your Disney first at the hotel is to go swimming while you wait for your room, because usually if you're there
don't
before
understand
4,
why it would be, but okay.
it may or may not be ready right away, and you want to go swimming, pack everything you'll need, like swimwear and stuff, to change in that little carry-on or backpack or something so that you can check. Yeah, because you don't want to be lugging luggage around. Even though it's called luggage, you don't want to lug it.
Yes, I already made that pun.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Your own stuff. Come
I
on.
missed a pun. So if your first is swim,
If you do want to go swimming, is the first thing you do there. I
make
don't
it
know.
easy on yourself with the
Don't know why
change
you
of clothes.
would, but
That's what you like to do, isn't
not
it?
anymore.
Oh, so when you were younger, your first was that. Now,
Yeah, but that was when we were going frequently. Now we have to hit places. Now it's more cultivated. I'm using that right.
I don't understand what that means.
Now we have an itinerary. We have places we have to hit. We go straight to the parks.
Well, not always. It
Now
depends.
we do.
Well, it depends. Everything depends. So
I'm telling you, I recommend.
go
that's straight to the
so
parks.
that's your recommendation for someone. Okay.
I recommend you go straight to the parks because when you get there, you want to explore. Like, you're kind of like, oh, I'm in Disney. Like, I just got here. Let's do something. And I don't know, going to the pool is just kind of anticlimactic.
Well, then that would lead into so for me, I think I would agree. The first, my first thing when I just check into the hotel, regardless of which one it is, I just sort of like to take it in. The Disney Deluxe Resorts, usually for us, or always for us, not usually.
Yeah.
Always Deluxe Resorts or villas. And I just like to take in the ambiance. For me, it makes me, I'm back. We're home.
Well,
But then I do like to go to a park. So.
Well, yeah. But see, now I want to do that in front of Cinderella Castle.
Well, hang on. You're actually leading into my next one. Okay, so we've done the hotel.
I didn't mean to do that.
First thing to do in a park. And maybe you want to go park by park if it's different. So now you've checked in, you hit your first park. What do you recommend and or like for yourself as the first thing to do when you walk through those gates? Let's talk about Magic Kingdom first. You've walked in.
You check in, you go right to the monorail, you head to Magic Kingdom, and the first thing I recommend anyone does, especially if you go a lot and you want to have one for each trip, is take a picture in front of Cinderella Castle.
The classic. Now, do you recommend people get a photo pass to do that or DIY?
I don't know. I think if you have PhotoPass, it's certainly better because you can get your whole family in it, and it would probably be a better picture. I mean, I don't know how good of phones people have in the cameras, but if it's a professional camera, I assume it would be better quality, and then they can also do nice stuff with it in the editing. What is that called?
In the PhotoPass app?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean when they do the magical ones where
when
things
they,
appear.
add...
And now they're going to have those new Snapchat filters, so you can have magical stuff on your own. If you haven't heard, fair listeners, the Snap filters, Snap has teamed up with Disney, and starting with the 50th anniversary, you'll be able to take pictures in the parks on your phone through Snap, and there'll be special Disney filters.
Yeah.
So that is so cool. And I may have to dust off the app that sits unused on my phone.
The only time you open it is when we're at Disney and I make you.
Okay, so the classic castle photo is that's a good recommendation for Disney first.
I think it kind of, and then you have that, and it's like a doorway to the rest of your vacation.
Now, when you do that, do you prefer the long shot from the hub at the beginning of, town square at the beginning of Main Street with all of Main Street, or do you like to get closer, halfway up, or even closer
I
to the
like
castle?
to get 3/4 of the way to halfway up because I want to see the whole castle in it, but I don't want it to be the little speck in the distance.
Right, and they do have PhotoPass photographers all the way down the street,
Yeah.
actually, usually, so that's a good way to do it.
And the thing is that the closer you get up, the less people are in the background. Because sometimes people are in the background of the photos.
I guess as I'm thinking about this, I almost think my Disney first is to walk through the shops. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe, again, it's just, for me, it's ambiance. It's sort of like the hotel. The first thing I like to do, I love Town Square. What I don't like to do, and I'm actually glad there's no fast passes right now, and I'm going to talk about that later. We're going to have a special little segment at the end of the show where we're going to talk about the Lightning Pass rumor. And I don't think you know about this, so I'm going to sort of, I
know everything.
I want to get your comments. But anyway, without that, it really does keep you from rushing to your first fast pass and not taking anything in. What about the other parks?
Well, I just want to say, just in the future, when we go, we're not doing that. We're taking a picture in front of the castle first.
Okay, what about Animal Kingdom?
And
what's your first in that park?
There's not really like a specific. I know there's the Tree of Life, but it's not a thing that
it's not like I've got to have my posing in front of the Tree of Life photo.
And then my day is complete.
Yeah. Is there any first you recommend?
Well, I personally recommend going, like you literally just said not to the ride in Animal Kingdom, because those are the highlights of Animal Kingdom, like Pandora.
Well, I didn't say don't go to a ride. I was just saying, I guess what I was getting at is if you've booked fast passes and you're going there for the time, obviously the first thing you were going to do was go to that fast pass. So I was trying to take that out of the equation. But it doesn't mean you can't go to a ride. In fact, now you have to line up for everything. So,
but that's just also in the Magic Kingdom, which is more like, it has more of an ambiance, whereas Animal Kingdom, I don't know, it's just kind of less
it has ambiance
inviting.
In the animal way, but it's because
less
it's
inviting.
Yeah, it's more what it's supposed to be, jungle-ish or Animal Kingdom-like, a lot of shrubbery and good ambiance, but not the same, or ambiance, but not the same as Magic Kingdom. All right. What about Epcot? Epcot's a challenging one.
Really?
Yeah.
I like to get popcorn.
Yeah, so Epcot, your Disney first at Epcot is grab a popcorn.
Because you have to walk a lot at Epcot.
And you need energy?
Yeah, and you have to walk a lot before you can get to anywhere, right? You can't run all the way to the other side of the park.
We have.
I know. Well, you have. Yeah. I was complaining the whole time because I was exhausted. You were in a stroller. Oh, no, well, I'm thinking of a different time. But you see.
So you like to replenish your salt with popcorn.
Yeah,
I think salt? Yeah.
Okay.
When you sweat in the hot sun, your salt goes out, so you have to get more salt. And popcorn is something. You didn't get my joke?
Yes, that's what I meant.
I think at Epcot, a Disney first at Epcot, I really think World Showcase.
I was going to say go on Spaceship Earth, but I know you don't like to do that.
Yeah, I do not recommend that. So,
I know you disagree.
I would make a do not do this first. So a Disney do not first for Epcot is Spaceship Earth. Unless there, for some reason, is no line.
I mean, see, I agree with you, but I disagree with you. No. Spaceship Earth is a great first, especially it's first time going because A, you can relax. 2, because sometimes after walking all the way through bag check, and it's a lot. And so you get relaxed. And plus, it's like the castle. It's like it's the Epcot ball, and you're there. And you're in it, and you're experiencing the magic.
Again, the castle has a lot to it. First of all, it's really ornate, despite those horrid new colors. You can walk through it. There's lots of stuff to look at.
You can go through the Epcot ball. It's very simple. It's called Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, you have to get on an attraction to do it.
It's very simple.
So it's not, it's cool and looks great in photos and all that.
It's
but
big
now they
and
have
white.
all
What
these
more do you
lights on
want?
it. So I don't know. We'll see when we see it next time. All right, and Hollywood Studios. What's your Disney
to
first?
Rock and Roller Coaster.
Well, I guess you can't rush to Rise. You could rush to Millennium Falcon.
You can't rush to Rise. That's not how it works.
The virtual queue.
While everyone's running to Toy Story Land and Smuggler's Run, I will be running to Rock and Roller Coaster.
All right, so let me do some Disney firsts another way, through another lens. For each park, what is the first ride? Now, let me just say,
Was the first ride the majority of people would
well,
like?
let me just say, there's a first for everything,
Yeah.
in life and at Disney. But on a Disney vacation, there's a ton of firsts, right? Everything is a first for your first time. So what is the best first? It's hard to say.
Popcorn.
So you're saying for someone on their first Disney vacation, when they enter a park, get popcorn.
This is my image, my mental image. You go to the Magic Kingdom, you get a popcorn, and you have popcorn in your family, and you take a picture in front of the castle.
Okay, so I was going to ask you this, and you're almost answering it. We're going to go park by park. Magic Kingdom, what is now, for anybody of any age, the first time you go, and then your own, first ride and first food. So if it's your first time, your friend's going or somebody, adult or kid, whatever, or you can break it up, you're in the Magic Kingdom for the very first time, what is the first ride you should go on? Your first Disney ride ever should be what? And your first Disney park food ever should be what?
Okay, well, this is no question. The first Disney park food should be popcorn.
All right.
It needs to be popcorn. Although if it is a very hot day, I'm fine. If you get a Mickey ice cream bar, I won't hold it against you, or a sandwich.
One could argue that your first Disney park food ever should be Mickey shaped,
Yes.
which you would qualify for the ice cream.
Listen, I have 3 categories. If it's an ice cream with a Mickey shape, if it's a pretzel with Mickey shape, or if it's popcorn. If it's anything else, I have an issue with you.
Now, what should be the first Disney ride one experiences in the Magic Kingdom?
I feel like I'm forgetting a lot, but I want to say Big Thunder because it's kind of a classic. It's fun and any age can enjoy it. It's not too big of a roller coaster that little kids wouldn't like it, but it's also not like the Barnstormer, yay! That adults would be like, what am I riding right now?
I'm going to go more classic. I'm going to say
Space Mountain?
no, Small World or Dumbo. Those are classic Disney, and you cannot earn your Disney Magic Wings, your Tinkerbell wings, unless you've done either Small World or Dumbo.
You want to do that first?
Yes. And I might have even said the Carousel.
Of Progress.
Prince Charming.
I know. It's a joke.
Oh. So I'm going to differ from you there. I'm going to go classic.
I think you definitely want to do them, but that's not the first thing you want to do.
All right, let's go to Epcot. Disney firsts. First food, first attraction. First time in Epcot.
But the food's the same everywhere. So I'm going to special it up.
Epcot has a ton of food in World Showcase.
Okay. So
that
the
is
food,
unique.
There's like general park food. So of course I still recommend if you're going to Epcot first, like the general park food. But to differ my answer, you have to get the made caramel in the Germany pavilion.
All right.
And it's fresh and it's delicious and it's sugary.
Yeah, see, that would be unique in Epcot. Now,
And you're getting a sugar high.
What would you recommend ride-wise?
Ride-wise, I'd say Test Track. Because I know you're going to say Soarin'.
Well, I'm not. I was just going to say we don't have much of a choice until the other two open shortly. But
yeah.
I would say it is between Test Track and Soarin'. I'll give you that.
But because it's really fun and use it in general, like all ages. I just think some kids that aren't pretending they're Mary Poppins could possibly get bored on Soarin'. And who can get bored, like, going 60 miles an hour in a car that they made and like making a car that appeals to both girls and boys and it appeals to both kids and adults. I'm trying to fit all the demographics here.
And I would agree because I had a friend recently for our last episode or one of the episodes where we were talking about Soarin', and she commented on Instagram that she took her 5-year-old nephew there or something like that, and he was scared. So I would agree with you. He did not like Soarin'. He did not like the flight experience. So Test Track, I'm sure he would enjoy more. So I'm also going to go with Test Track.
Ha ha.
Okay, Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. What is the first food you should have to set the tone, and what is the first ride you should go on?
Right now, there's no specific food to Animal Kingdom, if that makes sense. So there's no like...
Well, there is. You're just thinking snacks.
I am. I'm just thinking... But I also don't like most of the specific food to Animal Kingdom, so I can't recommend it. But I don't like it. This is not a specific Animal Kingdom food, but in Pandora, they have boba.
I was going to say that. That's what I would recommend, too.
It's very good.
And there's adult versions and kid versions, alcohol and non-alcohol. I would say that is a good Animal Kingdom cool thing to do first. Yeah. Refresh yourself with... Well, I mean, adults can have I think it's called the Night Blossom that is alcohol-free. So that's good. What is the first ride you would recommend someone's first time in Animal Kingdom?
I would recommend going on Flight of Passage because it's the main attraction, but you have to rush there because, especially without fast passes, there are going to be like 4-hour lines if it opens up to full capacity, which I expect it will soon.
I'm still going to go Everest.
Yeah, but see, no.
Yeah, I just think for me, it's more Disney.
But yes, but it also doesn't appeal to everyone.
Neither will Flight of Passage. Some people will get nauseous from the sort of screen part. Now, what about a kid? Someone who can't go on either of those. Younger.
But what do you mean can't go on either?
A younger person.
What other rides are there? Animal Kingdom is terrible
well,
with
there's
kids'
Dino
rides.
Land and all that. I guess it really doesn't matter. It's not the best park for younger kid rides.
But
there's maybe Kilimanjaro Safari if you want to get in the Animal Kingdom vibe.
So you have Dino Land, and then I don't know what it's actually called, so I'm going to call it the Spin Cycle.
Triceratops Spin?
Yes, that.
Oh, no.
You can't.
Triceratops Spin is the one like Dumbo. They took out, remember they closed that ride.
Okay, then Cali River Rapids, I say.
Yes.
Is the most. That's fun for all ages. There's no real kid rides. Like there's no Dumbo or there's no Small World in Animal Kingdom.
Well, there's the Triceratops Spin, which is the Triceratops that looks like Dumbo, but it doesn't have the same
but no one
allure. It's not
No one
Dumbo.
wants to do that. No one wants to go on that ride.
Yeah, that whole Dino Land area, it's like a good idea, but it sort of doesn't work.
Don't come for Dino Land. You can come for Triceratops Spin, but you can't come for Dino Land.
You like Dino Land?
I love Dino.
Oh, interesting. Well, I hope they, give it a boost.
And then there's the Boneyard, which if you're a kid, that's not a ride, but I still recommend it.
Yeah, it's fun. Kids like it.
That's fun.
The Boneyard, if you're not aware, is a dinosaur excavation themed play area for kids. And it's got high, you can walk up high, slide through tunnels and all sorts of stuff. And as I've said in the past, there's an adult station nearby, so you can grab a drink while your kids play. All right. Our final park, Disney's Hollywood Studios. First food ever, first ride ever. Now this is a tough one, and we're not going to do Rise of the Resistance because you can't guarantee it.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's not something you can
I don't even know if
to.
it should be your first ride ever. I think you should.
I don't think it should be your first ride ever, but I think you should definitely do it.
Okay, so this is a tough one because this park has a ton of good rides now.
I'm changing my past answer. Now in Magic Kingdom, I think you should have a Mickey bar first, and here is where you should have the popcorn because it's Hollywood. It's like you're going to the movies.
Oh, cool! I like that.
You see, it's on theme. This is the Hollywood themed Disney vacation.
I like that better because while I do love popcorn, it's my favorite snack. I think I would say to someone if it's your first time there and you're going in Magic Kingdom, I think it's more magical to have a Mickey-shaped snack. Yeah. And I would do the sandwich, the ice cream sandwich.
Yeah,
but, you can have the ice cream bar or even a pretzel, but get something Mickey-shaped.
The bar is cleaner, though, for kids, which is why we recommend it.
Yeah.
Because you have a popsicle stick to hold.
Yeah.
So if you're traveling with kids, I really recommend the bar. Because
all right. Now the toughest of toughest, Disney's Hollywood Studios. Which attraction sets the stage?
I'm saying Rock and Roller Coaster. I know Smuggler's Run is very fun and people should do it, but Rock and Roller Coaster, that's like a classic Disney ride. When you think of Hollywood Studios, that's what I think of. I know that technically it's the Tower of Terror thing, but I think of the giant guitar. And also and no one's going over there. Also, people are going to Toy Story Land or to Smuggler's Run or trying to get Rise of Resistance if you're in the morning. And no one's going over there anymore.
It is true. Those other ones
will have a shorter line.
Are more popular. If there were no lines, what would you say?
I would still say Rock and Roller Coaster. Okay. I'm just trying to convince more people.
I might say, I don't even think I'd say Smuggler's Run.
That's not the first thing you do.
I might say Toy Story Mania. Only because it's suitable for all ages and it sort of sets the mood of Hollywood Studios. It's very movie-oriented, obviously, with Toy Story.
Yeah. Well, especially if you have a kid who really likes Toy Story. I guess that could be fun for all ages, but you're just saying that because you're good at that ride.
Well, I'm not great, but I'm better than you. All right, so... as I said, there's so many Disney firsts, and every first will be magical. But these are just some of the things we think should, think about what you want to do first. Yeah. Make it extra magical.
And
everything will be.
There's a different first for everyone,
Yeah, there is a different first for everyone. Now, I do want to, as we come to the end, I want to get your thought on this. This is unrelated to Disney first, but I do want to talk about the Lightning Pass also called the Lightning Lane at first. So
Okay.
here's what Disney, this is all rumor and speculation, but it sounds like it has legs, whether or not it happens sooner or later. Okay, so right now there's no fast passes. The question is, are they going to bring back fast passes? And they might
They
for a short
should.
time.
They need
Or
to.
are they going to eliminate them forever? And we talked about this in a past episode where we talked about what we thought was going to happen with fast passes and annual passes. There is a rumor with a lot of legs that Disney is doing away with fast passes forever.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
They will now have something called the Lightning Pass, or it was called the Lightning Lane,
Yeah.
which is a fast pass lane.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it would work like Universal. So it would be $100 a day or up to $300 a day. Maybe that's So this adds, if you remember, Universal is an extra $1,000 for the three of us, or pretty close to it.
Who is paying for this?
We do. I love pay for play. But what this does, the idea is that if the Lightning Pass, now we know, we talked about it, and I'm telling you, Disney wants to get revenue out of customers. The parks are too crowded with people not spending money. So the Lightning Pass will be pay for play. And with this pass, you will be able to go on any ride immediately, just like at Universal,
Okay,
which only has one or two exceptions.
But you can't say any right immediately because if a lot of people buy this
They
pass,
won't, though. That's the thing. They know, I bet you they've been scouting Universal big time. Most people
probably.
are not going to pay, if it's $300 a day, so that's, you're at per person, or let's say for a family of three, let's say it's $100. Family of three, you're looking at $300. Maybe if it's park hopper, they're going to charge more. But it's easily going to be $2,000 or $3,000 more if you did it for every day of your trip on your trip cost.
That's ridiculous.
So now the Fast Pass really will be Fast Pass.
Okay.
And the other lines will all be standby. And when you're not forced to get fast passes, the idea is that the other lines are actually moving quicker. So a lot of what I hear now through pandemic is the lines are moving because there's no fast pass. They just keep moving, right? Which is
Yeah.
how it used to be way back when. But they can still get long in 2 hours.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, in a code red, if it's a very long line, they move, I think, 30 fast pass people for every one standby.
So, do you like the concept of going the way Universal did, and sort of like Max Pass in Disneyland, but not quite?
I like it now, but in about 5 or 6 years, when I'm gonna have to pay, not so much.
I like the idea of the Lightning Pass.
What is $2,000 or $3,000? What is this?
I like this idea. Personally, I think it's a great idea.
I think it's funny how they're just copying Universal.
I hope they do it. So I know a lot of people won't like it because it is starting to price people out of the parks. But you don't have to get it, right? That's the whole thing. Nobody's forcing you to buy a Lightning Pass. The
Yeah.
other thing which I don't like is they're talking about putting everything or a lot more things onto virtual queues.
What does that mean?
Well, the way Rise works. So you don't have to actually wait in line. You go online, you book your time, and then you go back to the ride.
What's wrong with that?
The thing is that it might get sort of messy because the parks, if you don't have to wait in line, when there's a lot of people online, they're not milling about the parks, right? So Disney wants you to spend more money. So I'm pretty sure they're thinking, you know
This
what?
is Disney. Give us money, please.
Yeah, if you're not waiting in line, you're going to be having a snack, right? You're going to be having popcorn or spending money or
Shopping.
most likely, exactly. You're going to go shopping while you're waiting for your time. It's sort of like the old Fast Pass system. Remember when you had to come
Yeah.
back? That was basically a virtual queue. The original paper Fast Pass. Come
Yeah,
back at
oh.
1 to 3. So
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going, okay, we've got to kill half an hour. And what did we do? We went and got a drink, or we got a snack, or we went to the Emporium in the Magic Kingdom. So
Oh, so Disney is evil.
they're trying to find ways, but they'll make the parks less crowded overall, but they'll probably earn more income per guest, which is really what they want to do. They're trying to
This
find
is-
ways of not having the parks overcrowded, but earning more money per guest. So those are
Whoever-
a couple of things.
Whoever came up with this system is insanely smart.
So I don't mind virtual passes for 1 or 2 rides in a park, but not for everything.
Yeah, no.
Like for the biggest things maybe, but it also is a pain for Smuggler's Run. Or not Smuggler's Run, Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, but that's just
But
because...
it's worse than people lining up like they
Yeah.
used to and
Yeah,
bear running in there.
But it was also bad for Rise of Resistance too because that's like the new attraction. It's like the big thing. Everyone wants to go on this ride, so everyone's signing up at the same time. If it's like, I don't know, alien swirling
No,
saucers.
they wouldn't do it for that. But I could see them doing it for what has a long line, like
Rockin' normally.
yeah, Rockin' or Tower.
Pandora.
Yeah, Flight of Passage for sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure would get her.
Well, not River Journey.
So they're trying Cali River Rapids.
No, Navi River
Oh,
Journey.
Navi River Journey. Yeah.
You can't even
Okay,
remember.
so Lightning Pass, yes or no? Or Lightning Lane, whatever they call it.
I like it if you pay for it.
Yeah, I'm a yes for that one. Virtual queues, I don't think so. I would like to see.
Yeah.
I don't want more people. I don't know. It's just more work having to keep going to the app to book your virtual. Like, it's just now I got to sit on my phone and book all this stuff. So Lightning Lane would get rid of the 60-day. Oh, I got to book all my fast passes, all that stress. You would have the option now to I'll just pay and not worry about it.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I actually kind of like waiting in lines.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Not
I
popular
don't know
in
how
this
you're
office.
my kid because we don't wait in any lines.
I know.
A line's longer than 20 minutes.
I don't like
not
waiting
in
that long. I'm not like a 4 hours waiting person. It's just like waiting in line a little bit. You have to walk through it and kind of get the experience, right? I don't know. It kind of adds to it a bit.
Yeah. You just say that now because you're missing Disney because of the pandemic.
That is also
After
very
your first
true.
summer line at Disney, you'll go, oh, yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah.
120 degrees. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Disney Firsts and a little glimpse into the Lightning Lane or Lightning Pass, I think it's now being called. Anyway,
Lightning
thanks
Pass
for
is
joining us this week. We hope to see you again next week. Come and join us here at 1923 Main Street and follow along on social media, also at 1923 Main Street. So have a magical day, everyone.
Bye-bye.